Alex swipes across the Yucatan Peninsula and into the Gulf of Mexico, where it's going to get stronger before making another landfall. But the big question, how will it impact the oil spill? We're going to take you live to the Gulf Coast with Stephanie Abrams right here, right now on Wake Up with Al.
It's Wake Up with Al Roker and Stephanie Abrams. Everything you need to start your day right.
Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, June 28th, 2010. Welcome to another edition of Wake Up with Al. I'm Al Roker, live in New York. Stephanie Abrams has left the studio in Atlanta. She's now live in Venice, Louisiana, tracking Tropical Storm Alex and the impact on the oil spill. Good morning, Steph.
Good morning to you, Al, and good morning to you at home. We are concerned about a lot of things on this oil spill, Al, because it could produce waves even though it's 100 miles away, and also some models are still taking a northerly track with this, so we're going to investigate all of those.
That's right. Dr. Rick Knabb is on track to talk to us today. We also had a deadly tornado in Detroit. More strong storms to track today. Of course, complete coverage of Tropical Storm Alex, where it's been, where it's going, and how all of that is going to impact the oil spill in the Gulf. But first, let's start in Michigan, where a possible tornado killed one and sent 4 to the hospital. It happened in St. Clair County in southeastern Michigan. The storm ripped through a campground, destroying RVs, uprooting trees, and now a tornado has actually been confirmed in Wayne County, Michigan, just southwest of Detroit. Winds estimated more than 100 miles per hour. But our top story, of course, Alex, back to tropical storm status after slamming parts of Central America and Mexico over the weekend. Tropical storm Alex made landfall in Belize City Saturday night, weakened as it moved across the Yucatan Peninsula. Heavy rain flooding streets, killing 4 people as residents fled to higher ground. But Alex forecast to strengthen as it moves into the warmer waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Even though Alex is presently tracking away from the oil spill zone, preparations are underway just in case. Stephanie Abrams is joining us live from Venice, Louisiana. Good morning, Steph.
Good morning, Alan. Here's the thing. Even if this system continues to track westbound into northern Mexico or southern Texas, it is an enormous system. You will see lightning that is starting to fire off behind me early this morning, and that's actually part of Alex. That's how far the outer bands are stretching of this system. And with a south-southeasterly flow, we could see some more of that crude oil pushed on shore, not only here in Louisiana, but also into Florida. And of course, the Sunshine State not taking any chances. Governor Charlie Crist announced 2 new efforts to protect the Sunshine State's beaches, and BP will be paying that bill. Now, the first effort will deploy 3 barges configured in the shape of a boom to protect Destin Pass. That's where the harbor is and all the boats come out of. Now, the other involves an underwater air curtain, if you will, of bubbles aimed at pushing the oil to the surface. Now, Chris says he has observed thick oil about 7 miles offshore during an aerial tour on Sunday, and he's hoping Alex will continue to steer clear of the oil zone.
It looks like Alex is going more southerly and westerly, and the probability, she said 0% probability, that they would have to shut down any of the equipment that is, working on getting those relief wells to shut off the well ultimately. So that's very good news. We hope that it stays in that direction.
And Al, my other concern about this is waves can propagate out for hundreds of miles from these systems, so that is a concern of mine as well.
That's right. And let's get some more on Alex right now. Dr. Rick Knabb, our hurricane expert, is joining us from Atlanta. Dr. Knabb, so what's the latest on Alex?
Hey, good morning, Al. Based on the 5 a.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center, and using data from the U.S. Air Force reconnaissance planes, the maximum winds are now up to 50 miles per hour. And you can see here the center of Alex is just offshore the Yucatan Peninsula on the western side of that. And the thunderstorm activity is starting to fire back up over the warm waters of the Gulf near the center there. And as Stephanie mentioned, this is going to be producing some southeasterly flow even over the northeastern Gulf. Buoy reports in that area right now showing winds around 10, 15 miles per hour, maybe 20, but waves are already about 4 feet and could increase to 8 to 10 feet over the next couple of days. So just because this is going to be moving into the northwestern Gulf or southwestern Gulf doesn't mean there's not going to be some impact over the northeastern portion of the Gulf where the oil situation is unfolding. Here's the track forecast, Al, moving off to the northwest pretty slowly. It's going to take about 3 days to cross the Gulf, and everyone from Texas down into northern Mexico could see a very strong hurricane coming ashore later this week, Al.
And Rick, Dr. Knabb, could we also see a big moisture surge out of this thing, bringing a lot of rain along the Gulf Coast?
Absolutely, and we have to remember always that a hurricane is not just a coastal event. Alex could go inland and dump a lot of rainfall, and some of the computer models don't show Alex moving very quickly after landfall either. So just because you don't live at the coast doesn't mean you couldn't eventually see some impacts out of this system.
All right, Dr. Knabb, we'll be checking back with you in the next 20 minutes or so.